Hello everyone, myself Vinay Kumaram. I am pursuing PhD in physics. So in this particular YouTube channel, I'll be teaching physics, chemistry and mathematics starting from 8th standard till 12th standard. So if you want to learn physics, chemistry and mathematics, then please do subscribe to my channel. So in my previous videos, I have explained most of the things which were there in the 10th chapter of 9th standard science subject, that was on work and energy. So from this video, another 2-3 videos, I'll be explaining on exercise questions which are there in this particular chapter. So coming to the exercises which is there in work and energy chapter, in that, looking at the first question, here they have given certain situations. In that situations, you have to tell whether work is done or not. So now coming to the first situation, here they have given bullet points. So I am just converting those bullet points as 1, 2, 3 sub questions. So in the first case, here Suma is swimming in a pool. So that means here a person is swimming in pool. So whenever you take a swimming pool, here if a person is swimming in this particular pool, there is mass for this particular person and there is certain amount of displacement also. So because a person has mass, she is applying certain amount of force to push the water behind and go forward. So that means here she is applying certain amount of force to move forward in the swimming pool. So that means there is force and also there is displacement happening. So for a work to happen, there should be force and displacement according to physics. So here force is there and displacement is also there. So that's why work is done. So here work done is happening. So if I put right mark, then that means work is happening. So in the second situation, here a donkey is carrying a load on its back. Of course, donkey is spending certain amount of energy from its body in order to carry a load on its back. Still, there is no displacement happening. Hence, work done is 0 or there is no work done in this second case. So that's why I'm putting into mark for this second case. So in third case, here a windmill is lifting water from a well. So that means here water has been lifted from one position to other position. That means there is force applied on that water and also there is displacement of water taking place from one position to other position. So that means in third case also work is done. In fourth case, here they have given a green plant is carrying out photosynthesis. That means a plant which is doing photosynthesis, whether it is doing work or not. Here plant might be doing photosynthesis, but there is no displacement of plant. So that means here there is no displacement, hence work done is not happening. So that means there is no work done in fourth case. Coming to the fifth case, here they have given an engine is pulling train. So here also pulling means that particular engine is applying certain amount of force and there is displacement also happening because it is pulling the train. So that means here both force and displacement is coming into picture. So work is done in fifth case. So coming to the sixth case, here food grains are getting dried in sun. So here food grains, there is no displacement happening for those food grains. So that's why here also work is not done. So in sixth case work is not done. In seventh case, here a sailboat is moving due to wind energy. So wind is pushing the sailboat and that sailboat is moving along the wind flow direction. That means using wind energy, the sailboat is moving forward. So that means here force is there and also there is displacement of the boat. So that means here work is done. So in seventh case, work is done. So in first case, third case, fifth case and seventh case, work is done. In second, fourth and sixth case, work is not done. Coming to the second question, here a particular object is thrown at a certain angle like this. So from ground level at certain angle, let's say angle theta, this particular object is thrown. So this object follows a curved path like this and it comes onto the ground and lands like this. So here this particular object has covered certain amount of horizontal distance. So certain amount of horizontal distance is covered by this object. But here in this second question, they are asking work done by gravity. So what is the work done by gravity of Earth? Here if you see carefully, here if you observe carefully, object has landed on the same ground. So that means here vertical is 0, equal to 0. And always remember, gravity acts perpendicularly onto objects. So gravity acts perpendicularly on objects. So that means here on this particular object also gravity is acting perpendicularly. So the force of gravity here, the force of gravity is acting perpendicularly on this object. So force of gravity is acting perpendicularly on this object. So now here if you consider the perpendicular displacement of object, so if you consider perpendicular displacement of object, that is equal to 0, because the object has started from the ground and it has reached the ground itself. So if you consider distance, it has covered certain vertical distance, but if you consider displacement, then it has reached the same ground surface. So that means perpendicular displacement or the vertical displacement here is 0, and force of gravity always acts perpendicularly to object. So now if you want to calculate work done by force of gravity, so now if you want to calculate work done by force of gravity, then that is equal to 0, because displacement, perpendicular displacement or the vertical displacement is 0. So that's why work done by force of gravity of this particular ground is 0. Coming to the third question, here a battery lights a bulb. So a battery lights a particular bulb. So here what are the energy changes happening? So always remember, battery contains chemical energy which is in the form of potential energy. So that means here battery contains chemical potential energy, and this particular chemical potential energy is converted into light energy and heat energy. So here the energy transformation is happening from chemical potential energy to light energy and heat energy. So coming to the fourth question, here there is an object which has initial speed equal to 5 meter per second. So u is equal to 5 meter per second, and this object is brought to the final speed v, that is equal to 2 meter per second. So that means here speed has been reduced from 5 meter per second to 2 meter per second. So that means here the force applied on this object is in opposite direction to the motion. So that means work done is happening negatively on this object. So you have to calculate that particular work done. So work done is equal to difference in kinetic energy. So the final kinetic energy minus the initial kinetic energy. So EKF means kinetic energy, that is final kinetic energy, and EKI is kinetic energy, that is initial kinetic energy. So EKF minus EKI, that is the difference in kinetic energy, gives you the work done. So what is the final kinetic energy? So that will be equal to half mv square. And what is the initial kinetic energy? That will be equal to half mu square. So half mv square minus half mu square, the difference of both of them gives you the work done. So here mass of this object is given as 20 kg. So in the place of m I can write 20 kg. So half into 20 into final speed you have to take, because it is half mv square. So final speed is 2 meter per second square. So everything is in SI unit. So directly I am substituting the values. So v square is 2 square minus half mu square is there. So half m is 20, u is 5 meter per second. So that is 5 square. So now work done is equal to half into 20 into 2 square is 4 minus half into 20 into 5 square is 25. So here 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. So 20 into 2 is 40 minus here also 2 ones are 2, 2 tens are 20. So 10 into 25 is 250. So 250. So 40 minus 250 is equal to minus 210 joules. So work done is minus 200 joules. Why minus is coming is because here work done is happening negatively on this object. That means force acting on this object is in opposite direction to the motion. Coming to the fifth question, here there is an object kept on the ground at point A and this object is moved to the other position, point B, horizontally. So that means horizontally on this ground, this object is moved from position A to position B. So that means here there is horizontal displacement happening, but you should always remember vertical displacement happening is 0. Now you have to calculate work done by gravitational force. So now we have to calculate work done by gravitational force. So always remember gravitational force acts perpendicularly or vertically on object. So always remember gravitational force act perpendicularly or vertically on object. So gravitational force acting on this object, but there is no vertical displacement taking place. So that means here work done by gravitational force is 0 because there is no vertical displacement happening by this object. Coming to the sixth question, here there is a freely falling body. So if this is the ground, if an object is freely falling towards the ground, so in freely falling object, potential energy goes on decreasing. So always remember in freely falling object, potential energy goes on decreasing. Does this violate law of conservation of energy? Because energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. Here potential energy is going on decreasing. That means energy is getting destroyed. No, energy is not getting destroyed. So always energy is transformed from one form to other form. So that means here certain amount of energy transformation is happening. There is no collapse of energy. So if energy is not getting collapsed, then why this particular potential energy is going on decreasing? Because when object is under free fall, that object comes into motion. So here freely falling body means it is under motion. So whenever objects are in motion, then kinetic energy comes into picture. So that means here potential energy might be decreasing, but kinetic energy will be increasing. So how much amount of potential energy goes on decreasing, that much amount of kinetic energy goes on increasing. So that means here this potential energy is getting transformed to kinetic energy. So potential energy is going on decreasing and kinetic energy is going on increasing. So that means there is no collapse of energy. Here energy is getting transformed from one form to other form, that is from potential energy to kinetic energy. Hence here law of conservation of energy is not violated. So remember, law of conservation of energy is not violated. So here law of conservation of energy is not violated. So this is the answer for this question. So this explanation you can give, where potential energy when it is going on decreasing, kinetic energy will be going on increasing. Potential energy is converted to kinetic energy. So in seventh question, if you are riding a bicycle, what are all the energy transformations happening? So here muscle strength or the potential energy which was stored in your muscles is getting transformed as kinetic energy of the bicycle. Your muscles have certain amount of potential energy, and always remember this potential energy you are getting from the food what you are eating. So that means you have certain amount of chemical potential energy stored in your body because of the food what you have eaten. So when you eat food, that particular food is converted into the energy in your body. and this particular potential energy is converted to kinetic energy. So this potential energy in your muscles is getting converted to the kinetic energy of bicycle. So when you are riding bicycle, you are constantly applying your potential energy in order to pedal the bicycle. So that pedaling is responsible for the movement of bicycle, and because of that there is kinetic energy coming into picture, because the entire system is coming into the motion. So that means here potential energy of your muscles is converting to the mechanical kinetic energy of the bicycle. So in this particular video I have covered questions 1 to 7. So remaining questions which are there in this exercise I will be covering in my next videos. So until then, if you want to learn more physics, chemistry and mathematics related to 8th standard till 12th standard, then you have to subscribe to my channel. Please do subscribe to my channel and stay tuned with my channel. Thank you.